Welcome to Mutsukaradiwa again. This is going to be a fun day for us. We are going to learn English with a Networking Academy, NetAcad, Cisco. It's here, Cisco Networking Academy. Okay, we are on English for IT. Hopefully, we'll just play the first video, find out what they say, and then answer the questions. Because, as I said, it's basically English. Okay. So this is just us learning the terminologies. I'm not sure I want the certificate as much as I want to know what is English for IT. I might be wasting my time learning this one, or I might just actually be doing something proper. But for now, we're just learning. One thing I am going to try to do is finish off this English for IT within this one video. Okay, maybe not part 1, part 2, grammar exercises, for IT course, final exam. Hopefully, this final exam doesn't want us to. Okay, I got some wrong. Blur. This one, what is the namespace? Okay, I did not know. They say namespace, this is the correct answer. I said something which is already defined in a program or programming framework with a set of statements. However, the correct answer is a set of signs that are used to identify and refer to objects of various kinds. Okay, I guess let me continue. Question 6, I got it wrong also. They say shadowing, to reproduce or make an exact copy. I don't know why, or maybe I remember watching Silo and there were shadows. When a variable declared within a certain scope has the same name as a variable declared in an outer scope. I did not know about variables until I started Python 1. So yeah. And then built-in functions, or built-in function, a sort of signs that are used to identify and refer to objects of various kind. I was just answering here. Something which is already defined in a program or programming framework with a set of statements. This one I got it wrong. Bad practice, a block of code that can be passed as an argument to a function. This one I now know it. I'm mad at myself for saying this, because bad practice is not a block of code that can be passed as an argument to a function. Okay, I won't tell you what that is because I don't remember it. I'm joking. We'll go back and remember it. So a bad practice is an undesirable or negative method of operating or way of behavior. Why did I get this wrong? Because this is simple English, but I was thinking more code. However, I'm not sure if this is more Python based or what, or which language is more based off on. However, I remember it's what, let me try to scroll down here. Possibly they have the first one, starting with a sentence within conjunction, listening benefits. Okay, they do not say which language. However, def is the keyword of defining a function. Okay, so the function name is followed by a parameters, or open brackets if you like, and then a colon. So what could be the parameter here? So it's going to def function name, and then the parameter, meaning within this whole range or string. No, I don't want to say string. So signals a start of function body which is marked by indentation inside the function body. The return statement determines the value to be returned. Here's an example. So it's def function name, function underscore name, because every time, if ever the function name is long, sometimes you put an underscore under it. Yay, English. Underscore under it. So let's continue. Parameters, docstring statement. I'm not sure what kind of example this is. Okay, because normally an example you'd put something like this, and then on the side you'd actually have a proper, if I would say a proper example to say def. I remember I had let me look at here. I remember I had what's this, ChatGPT helping me with all these def functions and everything. So I wanna look at it from this side. Okay, multiplication in Python, I think that's the one. I want to look at it from this side and see the def function, what's happening with it, what are the statements that you put there, and whatsoever, what is in the parameters there. Oh yeah, here's an example here. Okay, here's an example. I think I was creating a game of some sort. So it's going to be function to tag. Hey, yay, English. Hashtag function to check if the board is full for a tie. Okay, whatever that is. I can't remember that. So def is underscore full. Okay. And then a board. We are checking the board if it's full. Okay. So for row in board, for each and every row in board, okay, if any, open bracket, those are the parameters. If any is instance, open bracket, x. What is x? I don't even remember what is x, even on this code, bruh. Let's see if ever they have given us what is x. No, I don't think so, but it's fine. If x int, okay, is a number, I guess. For x in row, hashtag check if any number remains, return false. Okay, this is the example, and right now I do not know what I am learning, but hopefully we'll understand it further. So def is a keyword for defining a function. A function in that sense is full. That's the function. The function name is followed by a parameter, which is the board. What is full? If is full, parameter board. Okay, so signals the start of the function body, which is marked by indentation. Okay, and then inside the function body, the return statement determines the value to be returned. So if ever something like this is full, return true. If it's not full, return false. Okay, I think I kind of understand it now. Okay, however, let's move. We are here. I'm back to listening. Hopefully they'll explain something better here. Let's hear what they have to say for us. Okay, they're taking a long time. These planes passing by are actually a pain in my in the private, in an area I would not like to have pain in.
Hey Jenny, can you take a look at these view snippets and suggest any corrections?
Sure thing. What have you got there?
Thanks. So this part here is supposed to compare the two variables and return a string that will be passed to the XPC function. The function should then replicate the string and output the result to the console, but something's not working here.
Okay, let me take a look. All right. First of all, you're using a lambda here, but you ought to be using a def statement. It's not critical, but it's more useful for tracebacks and string representations. And most of all, it effectively blurs the real issue.
The real issue? Which is?
Which is the scope. Look here, in this section. Not only are you using a variable whose scope is local, it exists only inside this function, but you're also then trying to pass it on to another function as its argument. This won't work as this variable is not available for any other function in this namespace.
And the sum variable here?
Well, it shadows the sum function, which is a built-in function, but this will not raise any exceptions here. It's just bad practice. Shadowing is a common source of errors, so if you don't need it and can avoid it, then you should avoid it.
Noted. Never is it advisable to use shadowing without knowing what I'm doing. Holy cat, Jenny, you're a genius.
Not a genius, really. Just happen to have written a few lines of code more in my life than you, that's all. Don't worry, your code writing will be better and better the more you work with real projects and actual code, and the more often it gets reviewed by me or anyone else on the team. We all like helping juniors. Besides, that's part of the job.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm not sure if you were keeping track with me, but they actually went back to bad practice, built-in function, shadowing. They spoke about namespace. I'm not sure if blend, lambda, or whatever, replicate, and so forth were there. However, they did actually talk about namespace, saying a set of signs that are used to identify and refer to objects of various kinds. Signs. Yes. So now I'll continue after that and find out what the question is. Now, question 1. Select the most probable statement describing the man and the woman. Okay. And the first one, the woman is a software tester and the man is an experienced software developer. I remember lastly she said she was more experienced than him. He'll get there one day, so I know. The woman is a project manager and the man is a senior developer. He's still not senior, he's junior. No. The woman is an experienced senior developer and the man has recently started the job. Yes, that's correct. And then the woman is the team leader and the man is a junior software tester. Ooh, now I'm conflicted. Maybe I did not listen properly. However, I will start with senior developer. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Failure is a lesson. I'm correct. Okay, now the woman is an experienced senior developer and the man has recently started this job. And then question 2. What is the biggest problem with the man's code? It uses local variables outside its scope. I do remember they spoke about having variables in there, and that if ever you don't have to use them outside the scope, and if I'm not mistaken, and if you don't have to use certain variables, don't use them outside the namespace or whatever. It shadows the name of a built-in function. It uses a def statement instead of a lambda function. It contains too many local variables. Now, this is where my problem is. This English, brother. This English is basically confusing me, okay? I am trying by all means to grasp everything that's happening here, but it's actually an issue. As I said, we are learning together. Doesn't mean I know and then I'll instantly become clever. So if you like, in the comments you can tell me what is happening here. Someone who knows IT better than me. As I said, please help me. Even if you don't like, I want you to like, you know why I'm here. Please like and subscribe, and let's tackle this channel. So now, what is the biggest problem with the man's code? Obviously, I'm probably going to get it wrong because I don't necessarily remember what the man's code's biggest problem was. However, I want to do things right the first time and not the second time. So it uses local variables, it shadows built-in functions, it uses def statement. No, the def statement, I did not hear that. Contains too many local variables, I did not hear that. Now, the first one is my first choice. It uses local variables outside its scope. And I'm correct. Because one thing I do remember was that they spoke about having variables in and outside a certain scope, you see. So she said you have certain variables in a built-in function, and then you have certain variables outside the scope, and so forth, something like that. So please, I'm begging you, help me, because I'm struggling here studying alone. Question 3. A beneficial result of using a def statement is. What is the benefit of using a def statement? It is more useful for tracebacks and string representation. Okay, we'll come back to that. It compares 3 variables. The man has more experience using them. It doesn't blur the real issue. Okay, I'm gonna get this one wrong. Not that I want to be wrong. A beneficial result of using a def statement. More useful for tracebacks and string representation. Why? Doesn't compare three variables. I'm going with the first. I'm correct again. This is like, I don't want like, I want what is true. However, now I know what the beneficial result of using a def statement is. Okay, remember it's the same def statement as the one here on top. Yes, this one, def function. This is the def statement. Okay, we are using this to actually create a code, so it is more useful for tracebacks and string representation. And then the biggest problem with the main, or this one is the main's code. Okay, we are learning. And then question 4, the woman says shadowing should be avoided because it raises too many exceptions, typically can provoke errors. The man is too experienced to rely. Okay, this one is that. You need to be a genius to understand it fully. This one is that. So now, typically it can provoke errors. It can raise too many exceptions. Now, I didn't hear them say one word errors, so I think it will what raises too many exceptions. Wow, it is going to provoke errors. Okay, now I know. So that's the problem of using shadowing, is that it can provoke errors. And again, what is shadowing? Just so that we remember. I know I'm going back and forth, but I'm trying my best to make sure I get this right. So when a variable, will say what? A equals to D. So A is D. When a variable declared within a certain scope has the same name as a variable declared in an outer scope. Okay. So in a variable we have A equals to D, and in an outer scope we have else another A equals to D type of thing. I hope I'm correct. Otherwise, I'm going in the train. Okay. Oh, that's me. This is me here. So it typically provoke errors. Okay, yes it does, because if there's an A equals to D variable and then I have another A is equals to F variable, then it is going to almost provoke an error, because now I guess it doesn't understand whether which is which. Is A equals to D or is A equals to F? Especially since one is in a scope and then the other one is just out of scope. Now it's confused. Are we still continuing with the previous one or not? Okay, I think I get it in that sense. If I'm wrong, please tell me. This is me learning, so anything that will help. So I'm just going to finish this off. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. The model verb out to is similar to shoot, but then I guess out is more or less controlling that you shoot. We use it for formal and serious things, professional suggestions or advice. For example, the urgency of the situation ought to have been considered earlier. So ought to and should are usually interchangeable. Ought to is appropriate for formal situation and does not sound as direct as should. Yes, ought to is probably the least used of all the modal verbs, but it still has a place in everyday English. Okay, yes, as they said, out is not as direct. If you see here, not as direct as should, because obviously we could say you should do this most of the time, but then imagine if someone said you out to you're out to. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I do. If I do have an accent, it's fine, it's my accent. But if I am not pronouncing it correctly, forgive me. But you're out to sounds better than you should. It sounds like someone is saying, no, you should actually do this. You should not be doing this. You ought to not be doing this certain thing. I hope I'm using it in a proper sentence. Now, question 1. We should be able to maintain coding standard. Yeah, we ought to and should, so that it doesn't sound as though we must. I think the last one is a must. I don't even know how many I'm supposed to select here, but I'm just selecting. So the incident must have been reported. The rules are in place for a good reason. Should have been reported. Ought to have been reported. You see, that's the reason why we don't use out. Sometimes it doesn't sound like it should be part of this conversation, like, or this sentence. The incident ought to have been reported. The rules are in place. You see, it feels like, let me see once I select a must. Oh, only 2. Okay. There ought to be an easier way to solving there should be okay, in the sense I could say there should be an easier way of solving the problem. This just seems very complicated. But once you put this, some people tend to lose their ability to become quick thinkers. Once you say this just seems very complicated, especially when you say there should be an easier way. So there ought to be an easier way of solving the problem. And then now, this just seems very complicated. And then now, hopefully for some, it puts them in that sense of saying, let me think, especially the first half of this sentence, you see. The out. Or these are 2 sentences, actually. Is it? I don't know. The out to be an easier way of solving the problem. Okay. Now it puts you to thinking, what should be the easier way? But then it's easier for someone to come with a solution. Or now they want all 3. Okay. Now it's easier for someone to come with a solution if ever they feel like they're in a space where growth is allowed. If they feel like they're in a space where they could think and be creative so that they can find a solution that will help not only the business but will improve their self-esteem and the ability to think quickly and creatively. But let's continue. Now, out to is more of a professional. Now we are in a space where we are sitting with the executives. We are no longer sitting with a junior IT technician, possibly. And this is my thought. We are sitting with the executives, whereby we say now, regular backups ought to be done in order to avoid data loss. Yeah, and then everyone is like, yes, we know that already. We are IT executives. But that's not the point. The point is proper, as much as it is proper English to say out more than should or must, the tone again is basically you should have a proper tone when you're speaking to someone, because some people might take it as disrespect, coming to them and say, you ought to do this. However, you ought to have paid more attention to the deadline. You see, we should have paid more attention to the deadline. This is our responsibility. Okay, this is now, you see, I like this one. This one feels more of an encouraging type of line. You see, it was only one answer. I didn't even go to out to must, because I knew it didn't sound as though you're putting blame on someone, because the should and the must, it sounds as though you're putting blame on someone. However, the out sounds as though we are saying it as a whole. We out to do this. Out, our. It's our, me and you. But then the should, in this sense, we should. It means I'm also putting myself to blame. Everybody should have done this. We should. It's better. Okay, let me cut this short. Question 6. The seriousness of this issue really have been given. Really should have been given out to have been given. Now out to sounds like it's a past tense. Okay, all of them are past tense. Okay, I could say should have been given priority. I don't know, sometimes some words, in order for someone to feel like this is supposed to be given priority, sometimes you have to use the should instead of the out. Sometimes you have to use the out instead of the should to make it seem like something professional. I'm not sure. Let's see. Out to. Now, I answered this according to my previous knowledge of what they think is a must. Okay, what word am I supposed to use? But here they're more focused on out to than should. Okay, so now question 2, exercise 2. Anyways, select the correct answer options to make these statements into questions using out to. Okay, we reported the incident as soon as it occurred. We reported the incident as soon as it occurred. Okay, it's always going to be a question. Is this proper English? Ought we to have reported the incident? Ought we have reported what? Ought we to? I'm not sure, bruh. If I get it wrong, I'm wrong. Otherwise, it don't make sense. But why? Ought we to have reported? Oh, okay, I get it. The incident as soon as it occurred. Yes, we should have, bruh. Now we are in deep swamp. Due to its seriousness, we gave this issue priority. Due to its seriousness, have we ought to given the issue? I'm not sure. Have we out? Due to its seriousness, ought we to have given this? Okay, almost. Ought to we give? I'm gonna teach this one. We'll see. Get in there. Due to its seriousness, ought we to have given this priority, or this issue priority? But I doubt I'll never use out. Nah, should or not, and then I can change my tone. Question 3. We have done regular backups in order to avoid data loss. Ought we to have done? Yes, it's always ought we to have done. Okay, regular backups in order to avoid data loss. We enabled client hardware address checks to avert the spoofed packet. Okay, we have to enable. Ought we to have it's always ought we, not ought we have to. It's always this one. The first I wanna say the first 1, 2, 3, 4 words. Okay, ought we to have enabled, and then the fifth word is almost has to be in past tense, enabled. I hope I'm putting proper English to its right core here. And then we have a VLAN based configuration in our network, a virtual local area. Okay, and then where is it? Ought we to have a VLAN? Ought we to have? You see, this one is just for fun, anyways. And then lastly, this comprehensive procedure has already been done. Ought we to have introduced already this weight? Ought this comprehensive have been already? Ought we have already wait? Ought this comprehensive procedure have already? Let's try it. If I'm wrong. I knew it. It's confused there. Ought this comprehensive procedure to have already been introduced? Sounds wrong. We'll never use out. And then hopefully this is the last exercise. This is the compiler versus the interpreter. Okay, programming English, I guess this is where I'm at right now. The programming English, it's more, that's what English for IT is about. The compiler versus the interpreter. Because obviously, when I was learning Python 1, they did say there's a compiler and there's an interpreter. So I guess I compile my code on one side and then the interpreter can interpret that to machine learning. Yeah, something like that. So high level programming, a situation in which you can enjoy the advantages of two very different things at the same time. No, the product of a compiler, a sequence of sent statements of instructions in a computer language. A system using digits of 0 or 1 representing the other digit characters combined, whether which a dynamic open source programming language with a focus on simplicity and productivity. Is it simple high programming language? A language that enables development of a program in a more user-friendly programming context and is generally independent of computer hardware architectures. Interfere with something in order to cause damage and interpreted high-level general-purpose programming language. So high-level programming. Is it a language? It is a language though. The product, a situation in which let's find out. Get in there, because everything else didn't make sense for me, but yeah, it kind of makes sense. Binary code, we know the zeros and ones. If you don't know the zeros and ones, it's the zeros and ones. You don't have to even read a lot. There are bits are not zero. Well, someone might think differently, but yes, they might have said bytes, or yes, I want to say bytes. Bits are actually zeros and ones, and they are binary, but bytes, yes. Object code. Okay, this one is new to me, so if I fail it, let me know. A dynamic open source object code. Dynamic open source programming focus on simplicity and object code. Okay, I'm trying to use English here. A language, no, we use it back there. A situation in which you can enjoy the advantages of two very different things at the same time. An interpreted highly general purpose, okay, the product of a compiler, sequence of statement or instructions in a computer language. Object code. I'm not sure. I'm not sure here. So I'ma choose this one even though it's wrong. Yes, sure call it counts. The product of a compiler, a sequence of statements or instructions in a computer language. Object code. Statements or instructions in a computer code. Okay. For temper. Oh no, I mean it for the nothing. A situation in which you can enjoy. I don't know what is a temper, but I might select this one. Interfere. Simple English. Simple English. Temper. Interfere with something in order to cause damage or make unauthorized alteration. Okay, from now on I'm going to read English. What is Ruby bar? What is Ruby? What is Ruby? Temper. What is Ruby, bro? I don't know. I'ma say whichever, whatever, regardless. I know it's wrong. A dynamic open source programming language with a focus on simplicity and productivity. I did not know that, but now I know it, because failure is a lesson. Python is a programming language, a dynamic open source programming focus on simplicity and productivity. Wait. Was Ruby? I should remember. Python, an interpreted high-level general-purpose programming language. Okay, I'm going to try to redeem myself and make sure I pass. But damn, no matter the case, okay, no matter the case, meaning whether, whichever, anyway, regardless, I'm getting this one correct. Yes, get the best of both worlds, or two. This is where the two comes in at the same time. I hate that. I hated the Python one. I kind of hated this one most. Is there a way I can repeat it? No. But Python is focused on simplicity and productivity. Really, I guess understanding it is much simpler than other programming languages. So I guess I should read more. And then I guess reading exercise, compiler versus interpreter. This one is long. We'll do it on another video. Anyhow, thank you for joining me. I'll try to prepare more, read ahead, so that we can actually learn instead of seeing me fail all the time. Okay. This is my second video. Please like and subscribe. It would be really nice to have you follow me on this journey, and hopefully you can actually do it yourself. We can actually read together. Come in the comment section, help me out. I know I am not yet famous. Maybe you're watching this and you're wondering who's going to comment on your videos, but I'm just saying, comment. It will help me a lot. If ever you saw somewhere I made a mistake and then you think something might help me, even if it's just how this video was set up, or actually learning. I could actually like videos where you just comment on my learning and what I should fix, what is what. If ever you feel like there's a forum I should join that will actually help me with learning everything IT, that'd be nice. Otherwise, thank you for joining me today. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Shout out. Thank you.